Hello and welcome to Back to the Feature, the show we talk about movies past, present, and future. Today we're doing one of our favorite things on the show, a 30-year anniversary review. Today we are reviewing Bloodsport. So for any of you guys who don't know, Bloodsport is the ultimate martial arts film since The Karate Kid came out a couple years before.
So many roundhouse kicks.
So many roundhouse kicks. It was the precursor to Roadhouse. It's funny, am I the only one that when I watched this saw the straight line from Karate Kid to this to Roadhouse? Am I the only one that saw that straight line?
Sidekicks came after them, right?
So, this is obviously a cult classic movie. I think one of those movies that I think that, like, it's
is it
so...
cult classic?
Yeah, I think it is, because it's one that I hear all the time. Like, people are like, what's the best JCVD movie? And they're like, Bloodsport, bro. Or they're like, Time Cop, man. Like, it's one of those two. But, like, I feel like JCVD's got that career that it's like everything he's done is, like, it's so bad that it's good. Like, that's, like, his whole career. His show might just be bad, though. I haven't checked it out yet. Jean-Claude Van Johnson.
You know, it's actually, speaking of that, and it's funny because we didn't talk about it, like, I think this movie's terrible. Just out of the gate, this movie's garbage. But it's so fun to watch. We'll kind of touch on that. Yeah. But like, JCVD's not like, he's not required to do barely anything with his acting. With his acting, yeah, you're right. But it's not like god-awful either, like some of the other people that might have been. Because he's so wooden. He's so wooden. Yeah. That, like, a lot of his scenes is just him, like, staring at the mat, staring at these other fighters, and he looks like he'd be a guy who is studying these other fighters. Like,
he just stands there and is French-Canadian. He's just...
You taught me, using any technique that works, never to limit myself to one style, to keep an open mind.
Yeah. So,
because I feel like his accent covers up like how bad his acting could be. Like, I feel like it could be worse if he didn't have the accent or something. Like, if it was like just normal, like just like American accent, it would be worse. Like, I don't know if
do they ever address that? Because he's like in the United States military in this movie.
Yeah, they don't.
I don't get it. It's like that guy is not. I mean, I know that you can, but still.
Yeah, I know, but it's like Tommy Wiseau, like, it's not a New Orleans accent, man.
Like, exactly.
It's not a New Orleans accent.
I just don't buy it. I just don't buy that.
Exactly.
I just don't buy it.
No, yeah, it reminds me, I mean, what is Forrest Whitaker doing in this garbage?
He's really young.
He's really young.
He's just out of Platoon, Platoon was the year before. I think that was, like, really early, and, he's barely... He's in that. Yeah, he's... But no, it's funny. Rewatching this movie, I had to degrade it. My memory of it was a lot different. It's been a while since I've watched it. Mm-hmm.
It's probably the last time you watched is when you popped off a couple roundhouses.
Yeah. But this movie is perfectly 80s. It features the montages you'd expect. It features the really overly... I don't even know how to describe it. Really bad 80s music.
If you're fans of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, it's like if Mac's brain like projected images. Like, that's really what this movie is. Like, that's all I could think of is Mac standing in his living room, like trying to imitate this movie.
So a lot of the choreography looked like something Mac would be doing.
Yeah, or like it reminded me a lot of like Kids on a Playground. Like when you watch like a bunch of fourth graders like playing. Like, that's what it looks like.
It actually was like, it's so bad that I almost was like, what is Jean-Claude Van Damme thinking during some of this filming?
I mean, he's a martial arts, expert, master. He's won competitions. Like, how is he doing this goofy shit? Like
the slow motion, some of those tosses that they do. Like, it's like, you don't just fly like 15 feet because you grab, and then he's in pain too. It's like, he hit a like, why is he... I don't know. Just a lot of it doesn't make sense, but, I mean, like, none of this movie makes... There's no weight in any of it. I think, like, the him being trained by his master, the relationships he have, his best friend that he says he loves at the end. It's like, you met this guy at a Bloodsport tournament. You've known him for, like,
John,
3 days.
That's how the bonds of friendship are forged. Don't you remember how we met? It was the same situation.
It was the same...
He was there doing the splits.
He could have potentially have had to fight him.
I know, right?
I think that's so goofy. There's so much cheese and just
well, and you really hit it on the head. None of it feels earned.
No, none of it's earned.
Like none of it's earned. Like I would say maybe the montage of him training with his master, like it all looks
the
goofy
really
and
terrible
dumb.
editing cuts of him like flipping, and it's like.
But that's still more convincing than any of the relationships that he forges in this film. Like, that actually is more convincing, and you've just watched it, so you know how terrible what I'm saying is here.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, his buddy...
FBI, like, in China with tasers, like...
Oh, I love their tasers, too. Those are pretty great. Those old, just... None of
it makes sense. I just don't get it. We have to protect our investment.
Yeah.
Like, what?
He's been gone for long enough to, like, basically get trained by... Pai Mei there, or whatever, his equivalent, you know. Like, he's had all this time to do all that, and now you're just finally tracking him down because he's here for the Komite. But,
I was thrown off early on in this movie. I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot. I didn't realize this movie was as bad, and it was when he goes into the room he gets convinced to go into the room to steal the sword as a kid. Mm-hmm. And they're like, we're not gonna be your friends if you don't come in here. And
then that's unwatchable.
And like the scene, like he just stands there and they like run out and he just kind of like turns and like, oh, and then like the son comes and kicks him. It's so bad.
Yeah.
And honestly, I was like, what's going on right now?
Yeah.
Because it keeps cutting back to him just staring. And I was like, is he staring at? What is he staring at? I didn't understand. I was lost.
That portion of it, like, is all, like I said, it's kind of almost unwatchable.
Like,
cannot get katana sword by stealing. It is a very special sword. You must earn it.
I wasn't going to steal it.
You didn't flinch. You have fighting spirit.
You're not gonna call the cops?
Not if we make a deal.
What kind of a deal?
The camera work is really bad. The editing is terrible.
Throughout this,
the acting is garbage. I mean, not all of it is garbage. I mean, some of it is definitely watchable. It's not like The Room.
No, it's not. But it's pretty bad.
So bad.
It's so really bad. It's really
I think it's
bad.
some dialogue.
I think I laughed more in the room.
Screenplay.
Like, I laughed more during The Room.
Yeah.
Like, anytime Tommy starts fucking, I'm just like,
oh my gosh.
Look at this ass.
Oh my gosh.
That's
why
funnier
is
than
he
a lot of...
over? Yeah.
Anyway.
Completely different thing.
But this is the league that we're playing in, though, for sure, people. Like, this is the area this movie feels. Yeah, like, nothing, kind of going back a little bit, like, he meets this friend. None of that feels earned. None of that feels like their friendship should have even existed. It just seemed like the guy that you're stuck with at a convention you went to. Like, you met him, like, right in the door when you're grabbing your name tags, and they had some snacks out. You met him at the snack table, and you're like, oh, I'm Phil. Oh, hey, Phil. So, you know what I mean? So you guys sit next to each other in the convention, and it's sort of a half-assed, single-serving friendship, as they'd say in Fight Club. But, and then his relationship with the love interest, which I almost wonder, it just feels like they just want to be like, hey, Jean, like, what would be really cool if we did this? She's like, oh, bring the lady in, and I have sex with the lady in the scene, and then, you know what I mean? She's just into me. Like, it's so, like, everything is just sort of like, oh, this just sort of falls, and we just walk through the steps of what a movie character
Well, Rocky did it this way.
Yeah.
So let's do it as like that, kind of. Mm-hmm. But we're not good filmmakers at all. Did anyone else think, like, him being chased by the like, the whole...
I was hoping we'd get here.
Him, like, taunting them by running away.
It is a visual treat to watch Forrest Whitaker run, Or really, well,
Oh my gosh.
it's watching him run, because I mean, as we all look at Forrest Whitaker, I think is quite a good actor. I don't love everything that he does or picks, but I think he's a very talented actor. But I think we all can kind of look at Forrest Whitaker and go like, he's pretty uncoordinated.
He's really tall and
He's just weirdly built.
Yeah.
So they have him chase after Jean-Claude Van Damme, and it's just goofy. I honestly, that was probably my most enjoyable part of the film, because it was bizarre. Like, it was bizarre. Like, it was watching an old man and Forrest Whitaker bumble around chasing him. And you can tell that it's one of those things where you can tell they're not really running. Like, they're actually like, okay, yeah, Jean, we're gonna need you to run up onto this part of the boat, and then just kind of look cute and wave at them and everything.
Action.
Like, it was almost like a Benny Hill fucking, like, sequence. Like, that kind of action, like, they're not actually chasing him. It has no feeling of, like, if it, like, a military police was, like, actually chasing you.
What are they gonna do when they catch up to him anyway? That's what I kept thinking, like, what are they gonna, what?
What are they gonna do?
Why even chase him? What's the point?
He's gonna do the splits, and then kick you in the face. Like, the splits were actually not even there was no point in doing it. Just like every time he does it in his whole career, but
there is
honestly,
a point
no
to
martial
one.
arts.
Remember they pull him and he like does the splits, and because of that he kind of just drags along the mat.
Yeah.
He's fighting the
I guess that was pretty useful.
Yeah, it was useful.
His balls must be just in pain a lot.
When he was like, his legs were like bowed up the wrong way. You know.
Yeah,
it's impressive.
it is a talent to be able to do. Only in the fact that not everybody can do it. Dukes. But, no, it definitely, like I said, there's just these things that just... The movie is just going through the motions when it's not, like, the fight sequences. And even then, I don't think the fight sequences are done really well, but you can tell that, like, everybody is just sort of waiting. Like, the screenwriter is, like, there even was one. I feel like it was just, like I said before, like, Jean-Claude just made a wish list of, like, oh yeah, I get a blonde lady and I have sex with the blonde lady, she's immediately into me, like, she helps me and becomes my love, and I meet this guy and we immediately become best friends, even though I beat him and everything, and he still likes me, even though we're in the same tournament, we might end up fighting, that doesn't actually... I thought at first, I was like, oh, he's probably gonna stew up a rivalry with this guy, and it's like, no, I just become his best friend. Like...
It's such a weird thing. It was so weird. Like, the end of the movie being that. Like,
yeah.
I was, what?
Like I said, it's so just going through the motions of what they go, like, well, this is what a movie is.
Yeah,
like in the movie, you gotta have this. You know? And so everything besides the fight sequences really felt like no one gave a shit about anything they were doing while those scenes were going on. They're just like, this doesn't need to be cool.
You Texan? You look like a Texan.
Okay, USA.
What's the whole up?
He says Senzo Tanaka is his Shidoshi.
What's the difference if Bruce Springsteen is a Shidoshi?
If Senzo Tanaka is his Shidoshi, then show us the dim mak.
What the hell is a dim mak?
Like, or well filmed, or make any sense, or what are characters? You keep using that word characters. What is that? Because yeah, they don't exist in this film at all.
I think it's funny too. I mean, like like his dying purpose. You know, like to be in the tournament is to get that sword, to earn that sword. The way
when it's a martial arts, like it's a martial arts tournament. You know, they're fighting with their fists and stuff, but you win a sword. I don't know what the fuck that is. You'd think maybe that'd be at a kendo competition or something. Nope. You do the splits, roundhouse a few guys in the face, kick man titties in the head, and
a few times.
Pretend to smack.
A few times in just one moment, you know?
Yeah,
slow mo, round out, and they're not making It's choreography was bad. I couldn't even believe like what I was watching.
Yeah, this is supposed to be the movie that people have told me like, oh man, this movie's like, man, you're a serious martial arts guy. Gotta watch Bloodsport.
I remember being a kid and watching this, or wanting to watch this movie, and being like, oh. You know, like, oh man, look at them on the cover, you know. It's called Bloodsport.
Yeah,
you know, it's R-rated.
Brutal
it sounds brutal. And I remember watching, like, I think I watched, like, the final fight scene between him and, what's his name? Chong Li, yeah. And it being like, whoa, you know, I was like, 8 or 9. You know, that was like my Mortal Kombat,
Definitely the Mortal Kombat
Power
vibe,
Rangers. Like those were the days where I was watching that.
Way closer to Power Rangers.
So like watching this, I mean, it's basically like that, but you know, people are dying or like, like executed on the mat.
But no, whoa! Only one guy dies, right? No, because he don't even die.
He kills the one guy. He does kill the one guy. Remember, they all get up and turn their backs on him and disgrace him.
Yeah.
They disgrace him when he's like trying to cheer. Because he executes them. That's like probably like the best scene in the movie, honestly. Because I thought it was really cool seeing like the dynamic of this. Well, I mean, like the culture, but also like these leaders in this organization that run it. You know, they have that. Like they're not going to do anything about it. You know. They're not going to do anything about it, but they, like, disgrace him. Like, that's disgraceful in combat to be like that. I don't know, it's cool. It's, like, the best scene. That's, like, the only good scene.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a very small thing. No, you know? It's a very small takeaway.
No, it's so small. Like, it is, it's definitely hard to find anything of intentional enjoyment in this film. Like, I like laughing at it quite a bit. That was good.
I mean, like, some of the...
Solid laughing.
Yeah, I feel like some of the fighting, like, it's really bad, but it wasn't so... it's not unwatchable, you know, because it still, like, has a fun... It still has a fun to it.
I don't know. You know, maybe I'm just too much of, like, a sweaty nerd about it, but it, like... When I watch it, it's really hard, I think, now, like, in what we have, and, like... You know, I think in like films as far as fight choreography or even good fight choreography back then. Like it was hard to take any of the fights seriously. Like I said, for me it looked like a bunch of kids playing out at recess kind of like look to it. Like goofy roundhouse kicks just look goofy. There's no weight behind it. It doesn't feel like anybody's actually fighting at any point. So it really doesn't feel like there's any stakes. Where I think that now, not just now, but even then, like I felt like we had better martial arts films. Like, look, watch Drunken Master, and then like go tell me that Bloodsport has any real like choreography, like integrity to it. Like, there's not, you know, like there's a lot more that could be done even back then. I think JCVD has talent, and he's an athletic like dude. You know what I mean? He can do a lot of stuff, and he can do the splits. But I think that at the end of the day, it's really hard to look at what Jet Li and like what Jackie Chan were doing over in like China and go like, this is even worth anyone's time. You know, I'll watch Rumble in the Bronx like 8 billion times before I watch this kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know, I wish everyone would just calm down. I said he'll be here.
Too late.
Too late? No such thing as too late.
Not even in the... And for some reason, it is in the same conversation with people. I don't know how.
I think that it's one of those things, like, I think people who like Bloodsport, I think there's got to be a high percentage. The Venn diagram of that is, like, you like WWE at the same time kind of thing. Like, that is, like, the...
Yeah, but WWE has a little more... it's
choreography's quite good in that. So.
Yeah, it's good enough that people believe.
Yeah, so... Go watch WWE instead of this movie.
But honestly, I would argue WWE even has better drama.
It probably does. It probably does. I heard they got that Ronda Rousey now. I heard that's what they're doing there now.
That's what they're doing.
But no, I think that the Venn diagram of that, and not to say that it's a terrible thing, but I just mean like if you like watching grown men play fight, go watch Bloodsport. So yeah, that was definitely a tough thing that when you remember it as a kid or remember just hearing about the film, how people talk about Bloodsport, it really makes you go, huh?
Yeah.
You know?
There's plenty of other great movies.
Yeah.
Featuring R-rated martial arts at that time. Yeah. I don't even know. I don't even know how someone could watch this and be like, that's a good movie, or that's in the conversation of a good action movie or a good martial arts movie. I don't. It's mind-boggling. I can't even believe it. I can't even believe it. I can't even believe it because it's so bad.
Yeah, it is a big, giant action dud.
You lose, American asshole.
So I think we've definitely ranted and raved about how poor this film is, and so John, what is your final summary and grade for For Bloodsport.
Final summary.
I mean, I feel like we really
summarizing it. It's a movie that exists featuring Jean-Claude Van Damme, who's like my least favorite action star. I want to like the guy, but I can't because he just isn't anything good. I don't know. It's just it's a movie as a kid I wanted to watch, and then I watched it, in my teen years and liked it. Rewatching it now was shocking. It's shocking in how bad this movie is. Just from every facet of this film is bad. The camera work, cinematography, music, acting, choreography, plot, everything is bad about this movie. But yet, it's still kind of fun to watch, and it's a movie I would still turn on with a group of guys and just be like, just have fun, drink some beers, watch some goofy shit. Like it's goofy. And it's a movie you can laugh at, but it's all I don't know. It's not like, it's insulting to people who make good movies, but it's not like, I don't know. It's pretty innocent, I think, in nature. So, that's my summary of this movie. But no, I definitely give this movie an F if we're doing letter grades. It's an F. It's an F that I'll probably watch again at some point. which is a rare thing.
Yeah, that is.
Which is a rare thing.
Yeah, it is definitely a special steaming turd. It has some fun qualities to it, all completely unintentional. It's definitely worth it for the scene of Forrest Whitaker running. I will highly suggest that section of the film. I had a lot of gleeful laughing during that. It was quite delightful. But as far as a martial arts film, it is really, really disappointing. And as such a martial arts nerd as I kind of am, always was as a kid, I'm glad that I only ever watched some of the fight scenes from this, and I actually never really sat down and ever watched the film as a kid. It was one of those ones I'd see it, like I'd be flipping through the channels and it was already kind of on.
It was on TNT.
Yeah. And so this is kind of... yeah.
Or TBS.
USA.
Yeah, USA.
This is coming on right after Burn Notice. But anyway... this is basically the R-rated version of The Karate Kid, but The Karate Kid's still a better movie. And
by a lot.
By a lot. And it is also the less funny version of Roadhouse. So I would highly suggest probably going to either side of this film instead of this. It was really kind of hard to slog through this, and it was really disappointing. I was hoping to at least enjoy the fight choreography. But it was really unenjoyable. And like I said, like little kids play fighting. So if that is your jam, or say you're one of those guys that loves watching something like over the top, but want to watch something worse than over the top somehow, go check out this big steaming pile of F that I'm also going to give this film. Film.
There was a camera on.
They turned it on for sure. They picked up some images.
I feel like we're gonna pick up some flag for this episode.
Anyone who wants to disagree with me, I will roundhouse play fight you all day, because that must be the way that you fight as well.
Rewatch this movie. Watch it with a critic's lens.
Mm-hmm.
Watch it with I'm gonna watch this movie with any lens.
What? Yeah, if you think this movie is really great,
your eyes open.
Sit down with someone that you really respect and watch this film, and you will want to turn it off, because you will hate the way that they look at you. And you'll realize that it'll all come into focus how bad Bloodsport really is. I think, this is one, guys, we gotta take off our nostalgia glasses here. Oh, man. This was not a very good film at all.
No.
So... guys, that is as much as I'm going to put you through today with Bloodsport. If you guys have seen Bloodsport, if you guys disagree with us, if you guys hopefully agree with us, tell us in the comments. You can find us on Twitter at BacktoFeature, and you can also find us on our Facebook at /BacktoFeature. I'm Giovanni Carlo.
And I'm John Vandeloo.
And we'll see you guys next time.
Son of the bitch. Is that good enough, guys?